Well, new questions from Congress today about whether the Obama administration stepped in to play favorites with union workers over non-union workers in the course of the GM bankruptcy. And this may have an effect on the election, in particular in Ohio. See, back in 2009, an auto parts maker named Delphi went through bankruptcy right around the time that GM did, because it had once been owned by GM. Well, the pensions of the UAW workers were saved, but the non-union pensions were terminated, which left up to 20,000 older non-union workers in Ohio with reduced or minimal pensions. Trace Gallagher live in our West Coast newsroom with more on how this is becoming a political issue now. Trace?
Yeah, and for context and timelines, Megan, Delphi was spun off from GM 13 years ago, and then during the whole restructuring of General Motors, those 20,000 Delphi workers lost almost all of their pensions. They were not members of the United Auto Workers Union, but the Delphi workers who were members of the UAW kept their pensions. Now, all along, the White House and the Treasury Department maintained that this was not their doing, that Treasury only acted as a facilitator between General Motors and the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, or PBGC. That's a government agency that handles benefit issues for private sector. Now, the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, Dave Camps from Michigan, says the committee now has emails that prove that the Treasury Department and Secretary Tim Geithner were heavily involved in this and were assessing, quote, the politically sensitive nature of the Delphi pension termination. Camp is now vowing to subpoena documents from Treasury, saying, and I'm quoting here, "I understand the answer may be difficult to explain in states like Michigan and Ohio, but politics cannot dictate the timing of when the American people learn the truth." Now, the White House senior campaign advisor David Axelrod was asked about this during a conference call, and at first he said this, kind of stammering. Listen.
This was not the decision of the president. This was a consequence of steps that were taken by the company itself to rationalize itself so it could exist.
A short time later, Axelrod seemed to indicate that the president was involved in this. Listen to this.
The policy that the president undertook was one that was designed to save the larger universe of people who rely on the auto industry.
Look, Congress is planning to get to the bottom of this, but right